still Friday, October 15th. A couple things. For lunch, so I'm making it a habit, because I have a 2-hour break when I work. So I'm trying to make it a habit to walk to Dolores Park during my break. And so I went, and it was just something so liberating about today. It's been something so liberating. And I think it has something to do with that feeling that I realized I had this morning of just that alignment, really, right? Of what I knew that I needed to do, and then actually feeling it was just like, so I was on a high, just natural high, walking to Dolores Park, and I sat down for a little bit and just enjoying the park, enjoying listening to my music, you know, enjoying trying to walk the line, the cracks, you know, the sidewalk, walking on the line, trying to, like, you know, see if I could stay on the line and not fall over. And so I get to the top of Dolores Park, and I'm sitting there, and I took a book to read, but I'm not reading it. Just sitting with myself and watching everything unfold. And then I get this urge to just take off my shoes and walk barefoot. And so I do. And I walk on the grass, and it feels so good just to... Because the weather out here doesn't really dry out the grass. Like, it's moist. So I feel the squishiness in my feet, and it feels good. And just walking, and so I'm walking, just enjoying earthing, really. And then I pass by my car. I mean, I so, you know, who gets 2 tickets in 1 week? This girl right here does. Who gets 2 golden tickets in 1 week? Right here. I forgot to move my car on Thursday. For whatever reason, I thought it was just once a week, because certain streets are once a week, and I don't know why I thought it was once a week. But no, I had to move it on Thursday, and I didn't. Yesterday, I had to move it yesterday, and I didn't. So I saw it, and I was just like, really? But I was so happy that I was just like, okay. So I'm just laughing about it as I'm walking home. Then I left it. I didn't even go. I'm like, I'm gonna go to my car in 2 days. I'll pick it up then. And so I still haven't paid the one for this Tuesday, but it made me laugh. And then so I come back, and I'm replaying this message from this person from my present past, or he was a new fire sign, but now he's put in the old category, this new old fire sign. And I'm listening to it again, and just sit with it. And yeah, it bothered me a little bit, but I was just like, all right, just sit with it. It's not gonna bother you a lot, because, you know, here's the final lesson. So just just laughing, really laughing at how things are unfolding, and then just really sitting with how I'm gonna respond to him, right? Knowing that I don't have to respond right away. Just I can still sit with it. But I reached out to Gary, and I told him about it in a very vague way. But I titled this email, "My Dream Came True, ... or did it?" And so I put, "Dear Gary, some time ago, not too long ago, like a week or 2 ago, I had a dream about this new fire sign in my life, and I questioned why he stopped responding in the manner in which he did. I had a dream about him, and in my dream I was given the answer. bothered me because the answer was one I did not wish to be a part of, but it highlighted what I needed to know. So I left this new fire sign a message asking him, if silence could speak, what would it say about our interactions? And I shared more about the conclusion that I arrived to with the guidance of my dream. I didn't think I would hear from him again, but he did respond back. Today, in fact. And in his message, the truth came out, just as my dream said it would. Isn't that wild? My dream came true. What a sentence. What a thought. What a belief. We often use it to depict that our heart's desires unfolded in the way that we wanted them to unfold. If my intuition is my heart, then is this what it is? Did I want that to occur? I think my higher self did want it to occur in this manner, because this experience with this new fire sign was another life lesson that I needed to learn from. I dreamt of you last night. It was nice to see you again. You were sitting on a chair and I knelt down in front of you, worried because you had not answered some of my questions nor responded to some of my comments. But I also felt happy to see you because it had been a while since we were in each other's presence. You cupped my face in your hands and reassured me that all was okay. And I smiled. With love always. My dream came true. My dream came true. Or did it? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that wild? And you know, in his message, he talks about how he felt when he was on this trail and how there was something, I guess they, meaning people who do this often, hike into the unknown, that they will have this internal guidance that gets turned on. Internal guidance that gets turned on that helps guide them and lead them. I didn't know that this is what happened, but from what he's sharing, that's what he experienced. I was thinking about that, and I realized it's his intuition, right? It's his intuition being jump-started because he's embarking into the unknown. Like there's a known trail, but really the experience is unknown. And so it's your intuition on high, if you will, right? Because your senses are up, right? You're in the middle of nature, right? Bears, wild animals, right? This untamed world, this unknown, untamed world that's known with a map, with people who've done it before you. And then he said that when you come back, it's kind of hard to, it's kind of like still on, but then you need it to be off. So he was a little off in terms of how he was describing it, but in essence, it's like you don't know how to shut it off, but then, it kind of stays on. It makes sense, right? If you've gone through something like that, right? It's like trauma. It's like trauma all over again, right? It's that fear ignites within you your senses to be heightened, right? To detect danger. And so you have no other resource but yourself. You have no other resource but yourself to tap into, to guide you. And then when you're back in reality where you don't really need it so much per se, in that manner, it makes sense for that sense of confusion almost, of trying to figure out, well, how much of it do I really need now that I'm back within this environment? So now it makes sense. Now it makes sense why he said there was this desire to go back. Because that was his norm for the many number of days that he did it. That was his new normal, operating in that manner. it's like people who come back from war. It's just a different degree on that same pendulum, right? Of people who go to war, who experience war and are in the military, and then they come home and they can't readjust. And so then what happens? They sign up again. Or they make that their career because that has become their new normal. Or it's like kids when they are in an abusive home or a community with a lot of violence, and they that's how they operate best, right? Or adults who live, in that, or kids really who live in that world, and then people really, and then you get caught up in a cycle that's familiar. And because it's familiar, you tend to stay there versus trying something else. Or it's like the opposite. That's like the opposite effect, really. Or not. Just the other extreme. But it also makes sense for people who are in jail, who are operating a certain way, who are being structured or programmed, if you will, to function in an extremely structured manner, and then they get set free into society where they have to structure themselves and create this routine for themselves. And then what ends up happening, they fall back into old patterns, oftentimes to get them back to where they felt the most safe. Or the safest? Safest? We can't say most safest. Where they felt safe, right? In that structured setting that other people were creating for them. So that came to mind. But anyhow, that's what happened in the last few hours. The adventures continues. The thoughts continue. And so I haven't responded back. I'm still sitting with this message, thinking about how I'm going to respond back. Oh, someone got promoted. That's great. But, yeah. I think that was all I wanted to share about that. Today's Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'm gonna pack tomorrow and head out. Maybe not tomorrow, but for sure Sunday. I'm excited. Alright. Take care. Bye. Hi. My name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, you know, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience, and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, you know, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and you know, we'll see what else comes next for me.